And every one of them's gatekept because of this topic. You have to gatekeep all these extra subjects that come with it, all the sciences that come with, reality and what mainstream are telling us. So there's lots of channels and disinformation channels and sock accounts attacking you and things like this going on in the background. People don't see what's going on in the background like we've seen over the last 8 years. We know who's who in this community. Well,
Mm-hmm.
community, yeah, in inverted commas, this arena. We know there you can tell their walk, and yes, you can spot the disinfo agents a mile off, especially when they're going out of the way not to promote you, but to try and get access to your content and then attach it to their nonsense that they're selling. That's what we've caught a lot of them doing. So, that tells me these people aren't here for the truth. They're here to make money and disinformation. So, yes, there is a massive divide in this flat earth arena.
Yeah, minions for the masters, I call them.
Lots of, there's lots of theories, maps and models. We've debunked them all. Ours works. We have never been debunked in 8 years. If it got debunked, I wouldn't worry. For us, there's more to this than just the map. The map's just part of this. This is something bigger than the map. This is what's below the map and beyond the man's fake barriers is what this is really about.
Yeah, it's just a pinpoint that you started with, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Why lie about the shape of the Earth? Why is anyone lying about the shape of the Earth? What would you say to that?
Great question. Yes, great question, because we've been asked that before, and once over we couldn't answer that. Now we can pretty much say because of how it works and who created it is why it's been hidden and lied about, because this is a technological construct. The Creator's glorious technology that over time have many names. Every culture's got a different name for it. The name we're using in modern times is angels. That is the technology. This is the technology of the Creator. This is the Creator's tools of creation, is what we're revealing. And then we get asked questions like, well, where's the Creator? We don't know. We can honestly say we don't know. Hopefully they're out there making more of this. We've no idea how big this is yet, but to put it into context, look at the sky, right? Not like the Globers do, to point at a light in the sky and say this, you stand on a globe because you're pointing a light in the sky. That's ridiculous. Look at the sky, then start gauging the size of the diameter of the sky. How far does it go in all directions? Then you've got an idea how big the landmass might be. Because it doesn't matter how far out there you go, you're not going to find an edge. Do you know why?
You're going to tell me.
Yes, I'm going to tell you. Because if you found an edge, that would suggest you are floating on something, floating in a vacuum of space, which we know doesn't exist. It's impossible. Which then tells you this has to be an infinite plane. There's no other way around it. You arrive at that conclusion. This is unknown scale plane that we're standing on. We don't know how far it extends in any direction.
Eternal.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be an infinite plane. If you found an edge, then what's down there? What's it standing on? Common sense tells you it has to be
That's
infinite.
That's the question you need to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question, because not many people probably be able to answer that correctly. A lot of these maps and models are putting you in a contained model. They don't want you going beyond the date lines and seeing where the stars and the luminaries come from and go to. That's what the map, the globe and the pizza maps are designed to do. They're designed to hide east and west, where these lights are coming from and going to.
So, more confusion.
Yeah. What they've done, look at the map and grid we use. If you look down the sides of Antarctica, you can see it's a straight line cut down both sides. They've took a bigger map, cut it in those locations and wrapped it around a ball, invented Google Earth, and that's the globe. That's all they actually have. The Globers have got Google Earth, a bag of cartoons, and a shitload of excuses. That's pretty much the globe.
Another circus.
So it's gatekeeping, and these two factions actually work together in this arena, believe it or not. They're all attacking each other, and they're keeping it globe versus pizza map. It's a false dichotomy. Neither exist.
Mm.
And if I see anyone displaying that pizza map, I know that they're an idiot. It's someone that hasn't done the research, or it's someone trying to sell you disinformation. There's no in between.
Yeah, a character, an actor.
Yeah, my advice to anyone, do your own research. Don't take my word for it. If you do your own research and do it correctly and honestly, you will arrive where we are on the map. You would never find the model because we've already decoded it anyway. But I can't see anyone else going down that route and decoding what we have when it comes to how this works.
It's a straightforward debunk of any of those theories, isn't it? Your advice would be go and do your research.
Yeah, don't get too much to attach to a map. I'm not attached to our map. We know it works. We know it can't be debunked. We've told them the data they need to debunk it, which would have to be, you'd have to cross the Pacific and use independent GPS captures yourself to prove you crossed the Pacific Ocean, because when it's rolled out level, half of the Pacific's in the east and half's on the west, which shows they've joined two different oceans together to make the globe. That's what they've done. That's where they put the cut there and wrapped it around the globe, around a ball. And this is how Google Earth works. That's how Google Earth works. They've took the images from this map where they've cut it, they've put it in Google Earth, and it's got algorithms built in that round the images off when you zoom out, and it eventually creates a globe. That's the only globe there actually is, apart from the soy ones you buy in the shops. So and that's what people think they live on. Perhaps they imagine if you zoom in on Google Earth, you can see people waving. Who knows? But no, that's the globe. That's all it is, a cartoon ball. And all the cartoons and fakery in space and all this thing that they're doing with the ISS, it's all to fake man's doing things up there when actually they were already here doing them themselves, like the ISS. It's not something man-made. It was already here. It's part of how the sun works. It's part of the technology that creates the sun.
I've got an ISS question somewhere, but I think it's further on.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to sort of answer that one, don't you, about the equinox, etc. So the solstice, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to them. Do them in the order, that you got the questions in.
How would you like to see Operation Rainbow Warrior grow? How would you like to see it grow? And I know we say everything will grow as it's meant to as well, so I get that, but you put it together for a reason. Would you like to elaborate on that reason?
Yes, the reason I made Operation Rainbow Warrior is it can include everyone in the world, because these rainbows literally everywhere in the world. So it means anyone in any country, outdoors or indoors, you don't even have to go outside to do this, can help by capturing where the rainbows are and helping us put them on the map. And when we map them all, people's going to see a really big picture of where all the angels are. So that's an important one. It's probably the most important project because it's evidence and proof of what we've been saying all along. This technology resides below, and this is the signature of it, the rainbow. So that's why that one's important. And it's not just Operation Rainbow Warrior that's running, in case people thought we were just going down with that now. It's not. We cover everything still. All the other avenues we're still going to be looking into and going further with them. Any decodes, I mean, obviously they're going to be connected now because, everywhere this technology is, we're going to find a rainbow anywhere. And what that leads to is more research into these areas where we're finding them, like with your own discovery, Juniper's the Starfort. We're starting to see an older picture here forming, aren't we? It's not just a modern thing, this has been going on a long time. People have been marking where this technology is for centuries, thousands of years. All the old markers are still here. These stone circles, your forts, your star forts, things like this. And even up to modern times, churches and cathedrals, temples, pyramids, they're all location markers for angel technology. And that's what people, this is going to give people answers everywhere in the world for what they're looking at. Because don't you find it strange, all this sacred geometry in every country, and no one knows what any of it means anymore?
Well, the insult to our ancestors is just astounding. And, how they were presented as idiots in caves,
Yes.
babies, not being able to grow or decipher things. And it's very obvious looking at, the geometry that our ancestors were highly intelligent and tuned in to how the construct works. That's very obvious. So people, they will start discovering this and reinvesting again in the ancient knowledge. So, yeah.
Yeah, it takes us
Yeah.
back to our original roots. There is a creator, and now we know what the glory actually is. It's technology. It's always been technology. And back to that question again, why would they lie about the shape of the world? Because they want this. They want all this technology and the knowledge of it to themselves. So someone has copyrighted the creator's glory to themselves and monetized it, is what we're seeing. It's been monetized. We're paying bills for something that's actually free. Free and plentiful in this world.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed for that, was it? That's enslavement.
I don't believe so.
That's what I would call enslavement by taxation. But anyway, that's where Operation Rainbow Warrior is going, isn't it? We're going to awaken them to... There is free energy. It's everywhere. There always has been. The ether is moving free energy.
Absolutely. Now, when we're witnessing a rainbow, what are we really discovering?
When you see a rainbow, what you're seeing there is a torus field. The technology of the halo creates a torus field, and we see half of a sphere above ground, the other half obviously being below. And this torus field is what they use to harness the electrical energy within the ether. They steer it and control the ether and guide it where it's needed, and the flow. Like you'll notice with tornadoes and water spouts, it's not just in the air, it's water. Water and air are full of electricity, different potentials of electric in different tiny, what they call atoms or particles. They've all got different electrical potential, and the way the angels manipulate that, that's the amazing science behind it. You would not think something like that was possible, but there it is, doing it every day outside your house. It's creating your own local weather and everything locally. So that's another beauty of Operation Rainbow Warrior. You can observe them in nature, and they're showing you how they create nature in your neighbourhood everywhere. Your winds, your rain, your snow,
Walking with angels
quakes.
every day.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in this world, you walk on sacred ground. It is sacred ground everywhere. It's not unique to one location, it's everywhere.
Yes.
And this is, part of a bigger picture. Remember, we're in a map that's got the north and south treaties and east and west date lines cut off from the known world to stop you accessing what's beyond there. So, these things are everywhere, and who knows how far out they go? We don't know. This might be a smaller part of something bigger. Our world, as we know it, could be part of something much, much larger.
The mind just boggles and expands. It's amazing. And I know we've had loads of conversations like this, but yeah, this is something that expands.
It opens the minds, it opens your mind. It's because that's what they've done. They've sealed people's minds off, removed the logic from their thinking by cartoons 24/7, what they call space, and all these agendas to hide this. The programming, it's all there. It's 24/7, constant. A globe in a classroom, things like that.
Yes.
It's all there to distract you from the reality. So this is what they've stolen from the world. They've stolen everyone's birthright. It's everyone's birthright to know how this world works, to know its true dimensions, which we'll probably never ever get, but it'd be fun exploring, wouldn't it? And who created it? We don't even know who the creator is. No one does. They maybe they never wanted to be known. I don't know.
Yeah, because the wonder would be